So today I'm going to make a video I've titled Why Women Should Not Be Nice. Yeah, you heard me right. Women should not be nice. If I have a daughter, if I had a daughter, I'm not going to raise her to be nice because there's something I know that happens to women who are generally nice. Those women that we categorize as nice. That lady, she's very nice. She's a very lovely woman. She's exceptional. She's this, she's that. Such women, one thing I found out that is common amongst this type of women is that they tend to attract abusers. You heard me right. Nice ladies, you see, extremely nice women, extremely large-hearted people, these people that are really nice have a very high tendency of attracting the wrong people. And I will tell you why. If you know anyone around you who, likes to excessively please people, she's always, oh, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. There's this lady I met while I was having a particular training. If you're having a conversation with her, she's going to apologize to you like in maybe in less than 10 minutes. She might give you 10 apologies, you know. And that's exactly what I'm trying to say. So people that are extremely nice tend to attract the wrong people because they're always trying to over please everyone. They're trying to excessively be good. They're trying so hard to make people to like them. I don't really know why there are people that way. I'm not a psychologist, so you can have a conversation with a psychologist if you find yourself in this category. But I know that there is something not very right about this kind of people. You just need to find a way to, through counseling, through some help, balance out your niceness, because there is a high chance that if you're that person that is always trying to be nice, you're trying to be excessively nice to people, there is a high chance that you're going to attract. It has a way of sending the wrong signals about you. And bullies, you tend to attract bullies or the wrong type of people as husbands. I will tell you a story. This happened to me. So in my children's school, there is this couple that my husband got to know about, and there was a time, I wanted to make a switch in my work, and the man had a contact. He said the wife, had this contact that she was going to share with me, with him, and he did. So he shared the contact with my husband, and I think that was how their relationship moved from one step to another. Well, I worked with that contact, but I didn't really get what I wanted. Yeah, but I did recognize that that contact came through the wife, because the man had mentioned that it came through the wife, that it was someone the wife knew. So one of the days I went to pick my kids from school, I saw her. I had been seeing her before then, but we had never really spoken to each other before then. So I went to her and I said, oh, thank you. I know you don't know me. I'm this person. I know you've been meeting my husband because he's the one that goes most of the times to get the kids. But I'm this person, and I just want to say thank you for the other time your husband gave me a referral through my husband. I just want to appreciate you. And I just noticed something. The moment I mentioned her husband, the woman's countenance changed, and she withdrew immediately. I just noticed it. We are women. We see a lot of things that men don't see. I just noticed that immediately I said something and connected. She was smiling, all smiley before then, but immediately I mentioned her husband, her countenance just changed. And she just, withdrew from talking to me and just suddenly became cold. I didn't understand that reaction. So I stepped aside, picked up my child, and we went home. And when I came back home, I was all vibrating. I was like, can you imagine? This is why I always like to keep to myself, That's why I'm not the type of person that is always trying to chat up everyone. That's my husband, but I'm if you really know me, I'm a bit more reserved than he is, but it may not appear that way. He is the one that wants to chat up with everyone, but if I meet you for the first time, I may not be, that chatty with you. So I said, yeah, that's why I always like to keep to myself. Can you imagine? I try to come close to this woman. I just try to even thank her. And she just, the moment I mentioned the husband's name, her countenance changed. So I was like, this is so strange and awkward, and I was just asking my husband that, does she think I'm dating her husband or what's she thinking? I was just talking on and on. But a few months after that encounter, something happened between that man and my husband. So the man wanted something from my husband and he called him up. He needed a little favor from him. And my husband, I don't want to go into the details for personal reasons, okay? So my husband did that thing for him. But there was something that I wasn't very comfortable with that man's approach. This guy woke us up by 6 a.m. for this thing. He had a previous conversation with my husband about the thing the previous night. And my husband said, yes, that's fine. I'm going to be able to do it and all that. They had agreed on a time. He said he was going to come in around after 7 for that thing. And behold, by 6 o'clock in the morning, this guy somebody was already banging. We were still asleep. We got woken up and his phone was ringing and as the person was at the door. So I'm a very light sleeper. So I woke up before him. I was like, who is calling? What's going on? Then he picked up his phone and he said, it's that guy. I said, which guy? Which guy that will not allow me to have my full sleep, for God's sake? What are you discussing with these people? Anyways, my husband went down, opened the door for him, and all that. They had a conversation and everything went. Then I went to work. So later on, my husband was now chatting me in the afternoon that, can you imagine that guy? He didn't let me rest throughout the day. He was calling me every hour. I said, yes, that's good for you. You always, Mr. Nice, nice guy. This is the guy that woke us up by 6 a.m. for crying out loud. So why is he calling you every hour for this thing that you promised him already? Anyways, that happened and my husband was all upset by the afternoon. He was just complaining. I just told him, yeah, that's good for you. I think now you can learn one or two lessons about human beings, you know. Anyway, so um yeah, so that happened. And my mother said, I'm not going to do this thing again for this guy. If he comes tomorrow or anytime, that's just the end. He just messed up this relationship and everything. Anyway, so few days after this thing happened, the guy now called my husband again. Sorry, by the way, this guy in question is Nigerian. Okay, so this is a Nigerian family, just to put it in context. So he called him a few days after that. He said, guy, that thing where you do for me the other time that you did for me the last time, I want you to do for me. I was like, no, 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 no. I'm going to be very, very busy today. I have a very busy day at work. My husband just told him that no, he didn't think it was going to be possible for him to do that for him. Nicely, of course. If you know my husband, you know he's also a nice guy. So you can't believe this, that after that call, my husband didn't agree to do it for him, but he was quite nice about it. And the next time this man saw my husband, he stopped talking to him. He started, keeping his face the other way. This is someone that greets him every time, or they greet each other. They exchange pleasantries when he goes to pick up the keys and when he sees the guy. So the guy now started throwing away his face and started carrying a very, serious, he comes and he just puts his face off. So my husband came back and said, can you believe that guy? I said, what happened? He said, I saw the guy and I was trying to say hello to him and, he just pretended as if he didn't see me. I said, interesting. So it's adding up right now. So that tells me that that guy is a very big bully. It tells me he's a very big bully. I was trying to tell my husband that someone you had a conversation with, I was referring to the last incident. You had a conversation with this man in the night, agreed on a time, and 6 a.m. this person comes barges into your schedule without he was not apologetic about it. I said, that's how you know bullies. And I told my husband, I can imagine what that woman is going through with that guy, because that explains to me I began to connect the dots. So that explained to me, wow, that woman, her countenance suddenly changed when I spoke about the husband. I said, I can bet my life on this one that this man is really an abusive person. From this experience, you yourself, look at you. You're not living with him. He asked you to do something for him. You did it for him. And meanwhile, this thing my husband did for them on that day, this woman had been thanking him. Any day she sees my husband, she'll say, oh, thank you for the other day. You really saved us a lot of trouble. This one, that one. The husband is throwing away his face. And I'm like, very ungrateful and entitled thing. I can just imagine what that woman is going through. And this lady, very nice lady, very lovely lady, very nice. And that's what I'm saying. And it's not just about that lady. I've been relating and working with many women for a long time. And I can tell you that a lot of women that abusers target are always very nice, very nice, exceptionally nice ladies. These are people that have a challenge marking their boundaries, because that's what abusers thrive on. If they know you don't have boundaries, you're that person, you're always trying to please everyone, you don't have proper boundaries about you. Abusers have a way of invading your life, invading your boundaries, and your privacy and all that. They like to relate with those kind of women. So that's what I'm trying to say. So if you're that kind of person who, you as a woman, you haven't marked your boundaries correctly, just be sure that there's a very high chance that you're going to be attracting an abusive person in your life. So if you have daughters, and that's why I'm saying today that um women should not be nice. Yeah, you don't raise your daughters to be nice. You teach them to have boundaries. You teach them to be assertive. These extremely nice people, they're never assertive. Everything, oh yes, oh yes. They always want to be at peace with everyone to their detriment. Even when something is hurting them, they're still doing it. That's what I'm talking about. Don't be nice, be principled. Teach your daughters to be principled people. And I will tell you that if you meet principled people like me and many of us out there, we hardly attract this type of people. Don't even want to talk to us. They don't want to come near us. So teach your daughters to be principled instead of nice, because I tell you, I don't think nice pays people. Yeah, be good to people, have the right values, but don't be that Mr. Nice, Mrs. Nice, that person that everyone is saying, oh, nice lady. Because those nice things they think you exude is an opportunity for them to take advantage of you. All these nice people are always taking advantage of them. So yeah, so I'm going to stop here today. What do you think? Are you Mrs. Nice? Are you Mr. Nice? What do you think about what I've said so far? Do you know anyone who's gone through this experience or who is currently in this experience? Help them. Refer them to someone, counselor, someone they can talk to help them to be a lot more balanced. Being too nice is not the wise, thing to do. Yeah. So I'll stop here for now. Have a good evening. Bye.